and welcome everybody. I'm the Rambling Director. Welcome back to Phantom Through the Years. If you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that I have some health issues and I get sick a lot, and I'm sick again, which is the reason why the last couple weeks a lot of the stuff I've been doing has been audio only. So apologies for that, and apologies that I sound a little bit hoarse in this video, but I wanted to go ahead and continue on with our series. Today we're going to be looking at the 1989 cult classic Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. I don't know why this movie needed a subtitle. It's the only one in the series. This campy and delicious piece of 80s cheese was brought to us by Richard Friedman and the Fry's Distribution Company and made for only a budget of $2 million. The film stars Rydell as Eric, the Phantom of the Mall. Derek plays Eric, that's kind of funny to me. Rydell was never a huge name, but he did go on to become the writer on Power Rangers Wild Force, and he also wrote the film Beethoven's Big Break in 2008. Our Christine for the evening, a lady named Melody Austin, is played by Kari Kennell. Now, Kari Kennell has played in a few different movies and TV shows that you'd recognize. She's made appearances in Beverly Hills Cop 2, Men at Work, Nash Bridges, and Baywatch and The X-Files, as well as making an appearance as Marge Deaver on Murder, She Wrote. The most likely place you've heard of her, however, is she was Playboy's Playmate of the Month in February 1988. Yes, I did have to Google that, because I do not know anything about Playboy. It features Pauly Shore as Buzz, yeah, I'm sure you forgot he existed, and Kimber Sissons as Susie. Side note, I only mentioned the Playboy thing with Kari Kennell because I'm pretty sure that's the only reason she got to play Melody. Yeah, Kimber Sissons overall just, I think, gives a much better performance in this movie in her limited screen time. The film starts off with a really excellent introduction to Eric's character as he kills a security guard. He pretends to be a mannequin, and this incredibly dumb security guard has to get too close to him before he realizes that it's a trick. We get a lot of background on the mall and kind of the politics of this mall that is opening. And very quickly, I think you pick up on the fact that the mayor is kind of involved in this big scam, and you know, there's a lot of shady dealings going on at this mall. We meet our Raoul character, Peter, who is a reporter, and he's kind of trying to figure out what all the shady dealings are at the mall. And he's a bit of a creep. I'm not gonna lie, so the way he acts around Melody is just, it's a little uncomfortable. Now, you might expect that the Robert Englund film would have the best phantom deaths of any of the movies because it's a slasher movie with Robert Englund. However, I actually think that the deaths in Phantom of the Mall are much more fun and much more that kind of cheesy 80s fun gore that you really would have expected a bit more from the Robert Englund Phantom. The plot is a little bit all over the place, so I'm not going as much in a linear style as I typically do. This one really is more of a recommendational review rather than a full analysis of the movie. And there's two different times in the movie, and it's so gratuitous, and it just comes out of nowhere, where Melody just has these weird fantasy dream, wet dream sort of things about Eric, and it's just so totally there just so that they can have a sex scene and show you, you know, enough skin to put in the advertisements. It's really, it's weird. It's just bizarre. In addition to him stalking and killing some people, we get a great little scene of Eric watching this stalker video that he's taken of Melody, and playing this great song, which I wish I could find the full song because it's actually super catchy, even though it's like the most stalkerish thing you've ever heard.
Echoes of memories of shattered dreams will never fill the empty space. To reach the solitude, a glimpse of you, so near and yet so far away.
There's also some really tenuous connections that Peter has to make. One of them is Melody literally has nothing to go off of except that the guy who burned down Derek's house wore an earring. And, like, this is the 80s, people, okay? It's not going to be that hard to find a man wearing an earring. Heck, it's 2026 and I wear an earring. This is also one of the very few versions where you get to see the Phantom Punjab lasso somebody. Yeah, that just never happens in almost any version, even though it was Eric's MO in the book. Melody tells Peter about the night that Eric's house burned down, and that it was definitely arson. And wouldn't you know it, the mall actually ended up being built right around where his home was burned down. Maybe this was a real estate scam, who knows? There's a lot of great fake-outs, like the mall pianist who tries to assault Melody at one point, and then when we find out later that he's actually unrelated to all of this, Eric kills him by unleashing a snake who, we'll just watch this scene. The mall security guard with the earring has a great little chase scene with them, and I actually really like how this guy is so unstable and dangerous that even the boss who has, like, hired him to do all this is a little intimidated by him. I kinda like that dynamic. Now, something I do not like, something I think is really dumb, is how, again, like, it's just okay, I'm gonna try to normally kind of hedge my language and make it a little bit more appropriate when I do videos, but I'm just gonna be very blunt. It's amazing to me how they make Melody just kinda seem like she's just horny all the time. Like, she's not she's not really in love with Eric. It just seems like she likes dreaming about times that they did it, and then when she starts to have feelings for Peter, immediately she starts having these same wet dreams about Peter. It makes her seem like she's just a horny, horny girl, and, that there's not a lot of emotion or, depth to her relationship with Peter. And so later on, when she ends up leaving Eric forever after she finds out that he's alive, and actually says like, "Oh, I love Peter," and, you just gosh, it's so unearned. It feels like, yeah, no, you don't love him. You literally are just lusting after him, and poor Eric, when he presents himself to Melody, it's really sad because, like, he's kept his word to always be true to her and love her, and he's done all this so that they can be together again, and, yeah, it's almost worse in some ways than, some of the other Phantom of the Operas because they actually were in love, and they actually really should have been together, and, yeah, because she has the hots for Peter, and Eric is now too ugly to have fantasies about, she doesn't wanna be with him anymore. That's makes her seem really shallow and vapid. Turns out that Eric has planted bombs all throughout the mall, and he's gonna blow the whole place up. Peter comes in and rescues Melody, and they confront the mayor, who reveals her plot.
I can't look.
What happened to you?
We've got to evacuate the place. There's a bomb.
Now, I can't let you wreck this nice party, can I? Posner was supposed to take care of this earlier today. Of course, he botched it.
You and Posner? Why?
Because I'm a major stockholder in this mall. That means major profits. This is my ticket out of here. Who do you think covered up for the arson? Posner? A bomb underneath the mall. Oh, come on. You're gonna have to do better than that.
But Eric comes in and saves the day, and then he confronts the mall owner, who is responsible for his burnt and ruined face. I've always really liked this. It's kind of this incredibly fitting little moment where Eric gets to actually burn the person who caused his burn deformity. Now, granted, I find it questionable that you could just walk into a strip mall and buy a flamethrower, but, sure, I can totally buy that. Peter, Melody, Pauly Shore, and Kimber Sissons all get out alive, and the mall just blows up. It's spectacular, and as we pan across the wreckage, we see the burnt remnants of Eric's body. And yeah, like most people who saw this for the first time, I expected his eyes to open, but they don't do that. They leave him dead. It's kind of a nice little subversion of your expectations. And then we get quite possibly the greatest theme song ever written.
Is there a phantom in the mall? Folks around you ask, is he the phantom of the mall? Or just some retired in a broken hockey mask?
Yeah, definitely a product of its time, this one. It's a big, smelly hunk of 80s cheese, but I really like big, smelly hunks of 80s cheese. And if you do too, I highly recommend this to you. You can watch it on YouTube, as a matter of fact, and I would recommend doing that over actually buying a DVD, because the DVDs are very expensive. So that's it for today, everybody. Thank you all for watching, God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.